What's up, guys? It's Ricky, and on this particular episode I wanted to talk about the spiritual war that a lot of people are looking from their eyes, and they are not seeing the spiritual aspect of it. They are fighting a spiritual war. Israel is fighting a spiritual war. You think the Palestinians just want the land and that's it? Are you convinced of that? You sure? This video feels like that moment. Is it Morpheus in the Matrix when he turns around and looks at Neo and says,
"How did I beat you?"
You're too fast.
Do you believe that my being stronger or faster has anything to do with my muscles in this place? You think that's air you're breathing now?
he turns around, looks at him and says, is that air you're breathing? It's like, whoa, what? Yeah. There's parts of this earth that we will never understand. That's why there's all these people that are, you'll see them in African spirituality. They don't know how to make sense of it. They'll come, the earth, our mother. These ladies are fighting. Now, I want to talk about it in this video, and I hope this subject matter does kind of remind you of certain instances that you see in the Bible. They might not see it as spiritual, but I wanted to highlight how spiritual it is. Now, on the news channel, welcome back to the news channel, we've uploaded a first episode after months of not being there, highlighting some other aspects of spiritual thingy when the Satanic Church got banned in another country. You can go and check that video. It'll be down in the description below, in the pinned comment, as a matter of fact. So, why do I say this war that these ladies are fighting is spiritual? If you think about it, the way these ladies were attacked in the beginning, very funny. There was all kinds of things, very demonic in nature. Accusations. People started thinking, hey, maybe they were dating foreigners, and so now their foreigner boyfriends have disappointed them. The feminist movement started to attack this men because of what these ladies were doing, and it's very pathetic. If you always speak for the strength and leading of women, when women lead something, and then you immediately take that to pin men, that's very pathetic. Why not celebrate the women that are doing it? They are doing that, great, good. But instead, they took that entire movement and then had to make it a whole. If you think about it, go back to Bible periods. Borders and the subject matter of securing space is a very, very, very serious matter. It becomes a subject matter of war, definitely, and it also becomes, it's not a subject matter of debates. It becomes a subject matter of war. Even in Africa and all across the world, the subject matter of where a person occupies has raised wars in Africa, has raised wars overseas, currently has raised wars in America, in Israel. This topic, the problem is people keep perceiving it from a carnal perspective. Think about it. Why do you think there is a judgment particularly about the division of Israel's land? Think about that. Why? In the Bible, there's literally a judgment about the division. Like he literally says, yeah, by the way, there is a judgment for those particular individuals that divided up my land. He doesn't say Israel's land, he says my land. You guys took from me. He takes that very, very personal. It's a specific judgment, particularly for that. When Moses come up into the presence of the Most High, that is one of the first things that God sorts out with Moses. Take off your shoes, for you've entered a completely different space. You've entered a completely different space. You could have been in any other particular location and done however, dressed however, wore whatever. But when you enter this particular space, this is how you present yourself. You'll remember the term, ye are come unto Mount Zion. I'm trembling with fear. Instead, you have come to Mount Zion, to the city of the living God, the heavenly Jerusalem. And so you might have known of an earthly one, but the heavenly Jerusalem, he names that city after this particular patch of land on earth. Think about that. That's named. There's some that's coming down from, that's named after something that was down here on earth. Some from heaven after something that was on earth. That's where you realize that this particular patch meanings, this particular patch of lands and so have meaning. The reason why the devil wants to break these things down is because since God unifies to specifics, because remember back in after the Babylonian entire breakdown, when he confused the languages, the devil has been trying to create these religions that seek to unify people in one. You have religions like Islam want to unify people by language of the Quranic thingy. So this is a spiritual thing. A lot of times when people talk about the subject matter, I've said when it comes to South Africans and talking about land and all that, you're not gonna get that. Don't get yourself excited. Don't let politicians lie to you. It's a very spiritual thing, and you do not have the price to pay for that. A very spiritual thing. Goes way back into the Bible. Look at how God assigns for Israel to win a particular war. They get to thinking war is taken over by armor and whatnot. No, God has them just surround the city, worship around it, scream this number of days, this is how you do it, and boom, the walls break down, the entire city collapse. A war of territory was taken over by worship. These things mean something. These things mean something. You think about the Israelites when they are supposed to go to the land of milk and honey. Guess what happens? In the midst of them going in there, it takes them 40 years. Now people say, why does a journey that takes so many days take them 40 years? It's because it never happened. No, because you've only thought of this idea of land within a physical realm. The idea of land, the idea of a division of borders, the idea of individual national identity, it's a thing. There'll come a time when you are not even allowed to say, I'm South African. People will mock at you at that. You'll remember not long ago, the Beyoncés and all these people doing their entertainment agenda. They came, they did an entire thing. Global citizen. You think the whole global citizen thing that Beyoncé's and them, they got Beyonce to come down here. They got Beyonce to come down here. This agenda is way bigger than you think. It's bigger than you think. It's more spiritual than you think. When you apply your mind to some of these words from a political mind, you'll never make sense of it. And to be very clear, it's the war that is it is the war that is spiritual. It's not the land. Don't get that twisted. It's not that they are fighting for the land because the land is spiritual. Those are pantheist ideas. It's that they're getting into these wars to take what God gave to men. God placed man on the earth, but then they want to displace them. They bring ideas like your communism that allow people to just live and own nothing. But then when you see Adam is the first man on earth. In his creation is created within a space, within the garden. And the moment he messes up, he's kicked out of that space. It's a very important thing within Israel. Even when Israel interacted with in the period of the temple, people could be proselytes and come to the temple, but there was limited to how much access they had to that space. It was very much within their thing, who walked as far as what, where. This idea, it's not the place that's thingy, it's not the land that's spiritual, it's the idea that God gave man this. This is why the devil is fighting this thing. This is a very spiritual thing. If you are not clear here, you'll never see it. You'll never see it. This is a very, very spiritual. That's why there are Christians who are afraid of supporting the Jewish people. Yes, you might have issues with the Israeli thingy, but there are people who claim to be Christians who have a struggle with their support of the Jewish people. And when you look at Matthew, towards the last chapters, you see there is literally a judgment on that. This idea of illegal immigration, borders, these are spiritual topics. This is beyond all these things that you're seeing right now. It's beyond. There was a marker in the temple you didn't cross. You crossed that path and you had sinned, you died. So the devil now, what he does is he takes everything, he lumps it up. He makes all spaces open. He wants all spaces open. That's why you will find there is always a fight when a church raises money to build a church. There is always a fight. You'll remember I mentioned it with the John Anesike video. We might not agree with John Anesike's doctrine, but be very careful when people start to sound the alarm over church raising funds. Very, very alarming. Why? It's because we have now made a space. We've taken a space. So that the space is holy. Is that we have now acquired a space that allows us to do what we it creates all kinds of problems. The subject matter, if you would, and I'm telling you, if you are compromised on the border subject, you're going to be compromised on this idea of space. You'll allow your space to be defiled. You'll allow your space to be defiled. Things mean something. And there is areas, you see, we think, it's a political, it is not just politics. It's that it is now slowly eating at people's awareness. Particularly, it's eating at people's awareness of space. This fight is spiritual. Stop perceiving it from a carnal eye. Stop perceiving it from a carnal eye. When Moses started dealing with God and the Israelites realized, hey, this God is not our size. Spoke and thunder, hey, go speak to your God. Go lower the volume. He mustn't talk to us, he must talk to you. Go that he must talk to you, not to us. So they wanted to confine. Go speak to him. When they were left outside of his voice, guess what happened? They now because they now know what worshipping a God is like. They now have an idea of raising one in their presence. They were not okay with that one. Who speaks and the world shakes? No, built one small one. It is a very spiritual subject.